please. Be welcome. Have a drink.
Oh, my gods!
To your very good health.
Yeah. I mean... It's an honor, milady.
I will gladly drink to your health as well, Garlak.
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jaheira smiles at you knowingly.
It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering. Indulge me. You will be refreshed, and I will be reassured. You don't know what you're missing. Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it? Just answer the question. Look around you. Good men, good women. Stranded here, 2 feet in the grave. If we're to survive, I have no choice but to trust you. Can I? That was a public display of hope, despite private reservations. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago. You've been to the towers. Incredible. Your parasite has already served you well. I suppose you know about Ketheric then. His invincibility. That we'll never cleanse this place until he's made to bleed. We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope. And the wit to know when it will not avail you, I think. We must try another way. Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Ketheric is without his shield, the sword, together we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Ketheric's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet. Before you go, there's somebody else you should meet. You're not our only secret weapon. Isobel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely. I'm sure it's very fine. But lanterns have a tricky habit of going out when you need them. Let's not spurn what few gifts the gods choose to give us, hmm?
Last Light's best bargains, right here!
The shadows haven't consumed you. Good. Gruesome, isn't it? I'm glad you survived the encounter, at least. Did you learn anything more? Chosen? Oh, that's 3 masters Ketheric has served. Our paladin isn't very picky. He's aligned himself with mind flayers. But I cannot see what he gains. Perhaps we can force it out of him once we have him up against a wall. Was there anything else? The great general is paranoid. Good. That means he's protecting something. I'll wager it's the source of his invulnerability. He'd protect that at any cost. Was there anything else? Then speak. Ugh. Some crusty ballad monger, I expect. They have me slaying gods or laying with them, depending on the bard. There are as many versions of a tale as there are people to tell it. Let that satisfy you. And anyway, the heroics of old have done seemingly... We fight, we die, and we just hope that when our time comes, there is someone else to take our place. No need of that. Every harper is a bard unto themselves, I'm afraid. Help me root out this cult, and they can spin stories about you for a change.
Stop shouting!
The shadows haven't consumed you. Good. Then speak. The same way hoppers learn of anything. Poking noses where they don't belong. We sent an agent to infiltrate this cult. The latest fad among the city's bored nobility, I thought. Until that same agent returned and tried to plant a knife in my neck. My first encounter with a true soul. I'm glad ours ended on friendlier terms. From there, I made some inquiries of my own. Saw firsthand how easily the cult could turn friend to foe with but the twist of a tadpole. And so I gathered my harpers and came to the source. Moonrise Towers.